is the single biggest problem that has yet to be dealt with. It used to be a sugar daddy tech tone,
Well,
but
I mean, what do you mean dealt with? I mean, gee, what the fuck does that mean? Bro thought he was cooking with this face. Oh my God. That is the... Wow, it's actually been a couple days, and Saintontas hasn't done another video on Gacha Smack. I know, it's incredible. I mean, although somebody else made a video about Saintontas, a little person that you might remember as Tuhu Sniper. Incredible. Tuhu was a guy that a year ago called out a lot of people in the gacha space for being fake gacha gamers, being bad for the space, being basically grifters. Tuhu Sniper back in the day actually had the ball. By back in the day, I mean a year ago. Tuhu Sniper actually had the balls, the cojones, the chutzpah to criticize people that were bigger than him, people like Tectone, who probably could have given him a career. All Tuhu Sniper had to do was just say, hey, Genshin Impact bad. Or what a lot of people used to do too, is they would watch a video of Tectone saying Genshin bad, and then all they did was just regurgitate the things that Tectone would say in their video, and then Tectone would watch their video and say, oh my God, they're so based. Like they weren't just saying everything that they knew he wanted to hear. But Tuhu could have done that. He didn't. Instead, he called out anybody and everybody that he thought was bad for the space. Let's see what he has to say about Saintontas. Saintontas is lying to you about Candybug. Saintontas is lying. Oh, I guess the grass is green. I guess the sky is blue.
So dude, it's your boy Tuhu. Over the past week in my streams, twitch.tv/ToastSniper98 by the way, or right here on YouTube, enough people have asked me about my thoughts on the whole Candybug drama that I figured that I'd just make a quick video about it.
I was going to do a video on this until I realized I don't care. I'm kind of done with, like, did you know Genshin Impact bad? Did you know that the Genshin Impact fans are crazy? Yes, we all know. If you're still into this, like, let's dunk on Genshin Impact in 2026, it's old, okay? It's like 2 years too old.
Specifically, it's not necessarily Candybug herself that I'll be discussing here, but rather the stupid clown and his involvement in all this.
Oh, shots
if you're new
fired.
around here, or you don't know exactly who I'm talking about when I say clown, I'm talking about Saintontas, the most hated grifter in the entire gacha content creation.
He was the grifter all along! By the way, I wish I would have pointed this out a little bit better in my videos. So, like, the thing about Saintontas is he was making a bunch of comments about how, why are people playing Neverness to Everness? Don't they know they can play Wuthering Waves and make more money? Thinking exactly like how a grifter thinks. Like, a grifter is constantly thinking, how can I get more money? How can I wring money out of this situation? And that's how a grifter thinks. Saintontas would call you a grifter if you're playing a game for free. Like, at the same time, like, look at these people playing a game and they're not making a whole bunch of money playing it. They don't have all these views. And then at the same time, if you say that even though the game doesn't get that much views, you don't make that much money playing it, you still want it to do well, you're also a grifter. With Saintontas, you're just a grifter no matter what. You're a grifter if you're grifting, and you're a grifter if you're not grifting. But ironically, he's the one who thinks like a grifter, because all Saintontas thinks about is money and how to get views.
Scene. If I'm understanding the original drama surrounding Candybug from a few weeks back correctly, I dare say that they're both clowns here, but I think enough people have already cooked Candybug over the past couple of weeks, so I'll be focusing on Saintontas. For those of you who don't know or are not...
I was about to explain it. Yeah, apparently Candybug made a video saying that Genshin Impact is weird, and people didn't like that. The thing about criticizing Genshin Impact in 2026 is the people that want to play it are just gonna play it. They might find like a couple hundred videos about why Genshin is bad, but then they'll find like 100,000 more videos about why Genshin Impact is good, or they'll just play it themselves. Like, I know that Tectone made millions of dollars saying Genshin Impact good, and then made millions more dollars saying Genshin Impact bad. but like it's over. Like you're not gonna get a career by shitting on this game. No one cares.
In the Genshin space, 3 weeks ago, a Genshin YouTuber by the name of Candybug made a video where she basically complained about the game's story and character designs, judging by what I've seen many people say about it, both on Twitter and in the video's comment section itself. Somehow this video went viral with Genshin players roasting the crap out of her, given how the Star Rail players behave.
Yeah, I'm at the point with the Genshin Impact criticism where, like, if I hear that Genshin Impact players are gatekeeping and they're trying to kick people out of the game, I just think, good. We need more gatekeeping. Now, I don't like doxing and I don't like tracking people down and trying to harm them for their opinions online. I think that's way too far. But like this idea that like you're going to criticize a game that you know is very well beloved and you know exactly how the internet's going to take it, but then like you're like, what do you mean that there's a huge backlash to my opinion? You know what people are going to say. Like everybody that doesn't like Genshin doesn't like it. They're not going to change their mind, and everybody that does like it is not going to change their mind. So all you're doing is just rage baiting to try to get like a career, and people just see that and they smell it from a mile away.
Behave towards other gacha games, especially Zenless Zone Zero as of late.
I think I might try to get back into Zenless Zone Zero. For some reason, it's the only game that really like sticks out in my mind. I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad, but I think I might try to get back into it. It's the only one that really just kind of like clicks with me.
I'm pleasantly surprised to see the Genshin players actually defending their game against the perceived tourist. I'd go so far as to suggest that she herself might originally be a Star Rail player who just kind of like wandered into Genshin one day out of like boredom or something, because like it ain't like there's much to do in Star Rail these days other than like bitch about other Hoyo gachas. Now for the relevant part of the situation. Bran Online, who's another Genshin creator, made his own response to Candybug's video 2 weeks ago and another one last week, I believe. And while I haven't watched
the brand thing is kind of weird though. Like he did make a whole like video about how like power creep in this game, and like the there were two characters that he said were bad for the game because it was like they were releasing back to back and it was ridiculous and they shouldn't release characters like this back to back and it was bad for the game, and then went on to C6 them anyway. So like I can understand why people think that Bran Online is a hypocrite, but yeah.
Watched either of them myself.
I do think it's kind of stupid if you're criticizing Genshin and at the same time riding its dick. Like it's like pick a lane.
Seemed to be more
for a while it seemed like Bran was kind of like flirting with the idea of like starting to criticize Genshin, and then he went right back to glazing it. So it's like, pick a fucking thing, dude.
Level-headed, a more neutral response to the whole thing. This comment says that Bran actually took the time to listen to Candybug's opinions before sharing his own. And yeah, given that Bran's video is over an hour long, that certainly seems to be the case. I have reacted to one of Bran's videos last year, I think, and while I do think that he's yet another one of the many bandwagoning gacha creators who just kind of rode the popularity wave of Genshin from back in the day, he's certainly far from being a problematic one. He's no rat, that's for sure. If his biggest sin is that he only plays Genshin, then that's a sin that, me personally, I'm willing to forgive. For now. What I'm not willing to forgive, however, is this asshole. After Bran made his video, Saintontas evidently reacted to it on his own stream and talked mad shit on Bran and just Genshin in general, like usual, like he always does, I would assume, knowing that cup.
Oh my god, I thought he only made like 2 or 3 videos. It looked like 5 videos.
This is the part that my viewers wanted me to talk about, so.
I almost made a video on that situation too, but then I was just like, I don't care. Like, you're telling me, like we know about Genshin Impact. Like, why are we still talking about it? Like, it really is just like, you're just trying to get people pissed off.
Here we are. I'm making this video with the assumption that some of y'all don't know who Saintontas is. Realistically speaking, most of you already should if you know who I am in the first place, but on the off chance that some of you clicking on this video do not, well, you're in the right place. Saintontas is a rat. Here in the gacha space, I use the term rat as a label to describe creators who intentionally spread misinformation and hatred towards gacha games or other creators. They deliberately manipulate events happening around them.
Oh my god, everybody is getting lit up here.
First place, but on the off chance that some of you clicking on this video do not, well, you're in the right place. Saintontas is a rat. Here in the gacha space, I use the term rat as a label to describe creators who
oh my god, Pokey
spread misinformation.
I don't know who that is. Gacha Smack, oh my god.
Hatred towards
oh my, I don't
gacha games or other creators. They deliberately manipulate.
Oh my god, is that Captain Knuckles?
Events happening around
Saintontas
them and their own viewers.
Oh, Asmongold. Why does it always come back to the Roach God?
Into spreading a
What the what is this? Grifters ruined. Oh my god. Captain Knuckles has seen better days. Oh my god.
Narrative or an agenda that they want
M-Tash, no.
to see take hold in the wider community. Now, just to be clear, Saintontas is far from being the only rat out there. There are quite a few besides him, though.
Oh, at least thank God I'm not in here. Ethan. Oh man. Oh, even Ethan. Ithoma. What? People that Tectone gave a career to for exactly 2 seconds and they disappeared forever.
They haven't been as much of a problem like they used to be over the past 2 years. However, this clown in particular is without a doubt the biggest rat of them all. The kind you'd find in like
I think it's funny that it's all people that were platformed by Tectone.
New York City sewers in a Marvel comic or something. He has literally built his entire gacha creator career, if you can even fucking call it that, off of being a rat. For the past
he built it off of sucking Tectone's dick.
2 years, he's constantly made slander videos talking insane amounts of trash on any gacha game that isn't Wuthering Waves, though he usually targets Hoyo gachas like Genshin, Star Rail, and Zenless.
If Wuthering Waves never came out, I don't know what Saintontas would have been able to do.
Taken advantage of and profited off the gacha tribalism between
I guess he probably would have just been like an anti-Genshin guy.
And Hoyo players by
He probably would have just watched Tectone's videos and then just regurgitated all of Tectone's talking points and then had Tectone react to the video as if it's some groundbreaking thing. Oh my god, you mean people don't like Genshin Impact? Wow.
A Wuwa shill.
That's what everyone else did.
Himself. He's associated with and sucked up to other grifters like Tectone back when that trailer trash was still doing gacha content.
Trailer trash!
Content himself. There used to be an entire rat pack of dog shit gacha creators who all
By the way, again, doubling down, like I said, if you're really gonna have a principled stance on you don't like grifters and you don't like people and this is bad for the space and that's bad for the space, to who called out the big dog tech back in the day. All right, so when Saintontas tries to put himself off as this guy who's telling you like it is and speaking truth to power, why does he pick Gacha Smack and not Tectone for the years of Tectone doing the same shit?
Broadly did and said the same shit as Saintontas did. Though in recent times, like I mentioned earlier, they've pretty much fallen apart, as I'll explain later. But perhaps the most disgusting thing about this absolute failure of a human being is the sheer manipulation and narrative setting that he does with his content. Every single video that he makes reeks of propaganda-like rhetoric, from the video titles and thumbnails to his behavior on screen.
Bro, fuck. Remember when Saintontas actually tried to say that, like, Saintontas was, like, dying on this hill that games with 50-50s are better than any other game, and that games that don't have 50-50s are failing and they're terrible. At the same time, they're also affecting the other games because people see a game with no 50-50 and then they're pressuring other games to drop the 50-50, and that's going to harm people. And then he goes and says, oh, it doesn't really matter because you could just get lucky and get the character early. Just completely defeating the entire argument. Like, why in the hell would you make a bunch of videos criticizing people for their opinion on the 50-50 and then turn around and go, well, it doesn't actually matter what system you have because if you get lucky, then it's great. Like, so you're just a rage baiter. You're just you are just a rat.
If you don't want to have an opinion about Arknights gacha, this is like not having an opinion about the Holocaust.
He states everything like he's some sort of god of gacha, like he alone knows what's best for gacha games, and that anything that disagrees with his 5'1" Kim Jong-un looking ass is just
holy shit,
plain wrong. And he uses this attitude to justify harassing and slandering other creators out there constantly.
Not Maggie. By the way, the Shedazad shit was just awful.
Simultaneously, virtue signaling to his own audience that he, in fact, is the good guy all along here. That he's totally infallible in his targeting and harassment of anyone else out there that he sees as mere fodder for his 24/7 gacha slop content machine known as his YouTube channel. So in the context of this candy bug drama, Saintontas saw all the criticism that she was getting as another great opportunity to yet again talk shit about Genshin, its players, and Hoyoverse as a company just in general. Some real Mr. Krabs type shit. He doesn't care about
oh, money.
Candy Bug as a fellow gacha creator. He ain't trying to defend her or try to explain to everyone else why he thinks she's right. All he's looking to do here is throw more shade at the Hoyo community because that's all his.
I didn't even see anything that he said about Candy Bug. I only saw what he said about Bran online.
Higher channel is about. He only cares about talking mad shit on any Hoyo creator he can. Actually, scratch that. Just any gacha creator in general that he thinks he's got an excuse to talk shit on. And Bran just so happened to be the next one up in his line of fire. And
well, the Arknights shit was so weird. It's the same thing with Neverness to Everness. Like, a new game comes out and people are like, yeah, I could see its potential. I kind of want it to do well. And then he just comes out of nowhere and goes, no, it's trash. And you all need to feel bad, and I hope your game dies. In a game where people are super parasocial, they're super like connected to the game, and you come out of nowhere and you start talking shit, and you wonder why people have a visceral reaction to you. It's pathetic.
Make no mistake, he'll just as easily throw Candybug's ass under the bus too if that's what he thinks will milk her situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Back when Saintontas started rage baiting everybody in the Arknights community, and everybody was lighting him up, and everybody was shitting on him and calling him a rage baiting asshole. He was basically just trying to be like Tectone, and nobody likes Tectone, so why would they like a guy who's trying to be like Tectone? Everybody was shitting on him, and then Tectone came to Saintontas' defense just randomly right after Tectone makes a video talking about the situation and says that he's on Saintontas' side. Saintontas does a 2-hour react to a documentary that was saying that that Tectone never committed SA.
But there is some sort of reason to believe that Tectone will be a danger to her. Before we go into this next section, I would like to point out that neither Michelle Locke or the judge really have a grasp over how social media works. Pink Shoe's lawyer Michelle said in the transcripts that she doesn't really understand social media, and in this video that I found of the judge, she openly states that she doesn't really have an interest in being online.
For me, I didn't even have social media, by the way, until I knew that I had to run.
Okay, so this is very important because essentially all of Pink Shoe's evidence for why she needs an order of protection and why Tectone is an ongoing threat is...
I think the timing of him watching a pro Tectone documentary right after Tectone comes to his defense is very, very coincidental. I mean, everybody's lighting you up, and then Tectone comes to your defense, and then you watch a video about how Tectone didn't do nothing wrong. Like, off. Every time something happens, Saintontas runs through the angles in his head. We've already established that Saintontas thinks like a grifter because all he talks about is money and views. It's obvious that him watching that documentary was like a big thank you to Tectone. Like, see, Tectone, you helped me out, so now I'm gonna watch this documentary that says that you're innocent. Saintontas thinks like a grifter. Everything is about money and views, and he's got this guy who gets way more money and views than him helping him out, so he threw him a bone. He was gonna watch, and he watched that documentary for him and helped spread the word for Tectone, because that's how Saintontas thinks. It's quite obvious. Allegedly, in my opinion.
For all the drama that it's worth. Just look at what he did to his ex, for example, all for the sake of content. And yes, believe it or not, Captain Cabinets is apparently his ex somehow. I'd almost feel bad for her if she wasn't a rat herself, at least in the past. If you're
that whole situation was really ridiculous, because if I was in a situation where a bunch of people were shitting on me, and one of those people was my ex-girlfriend, I would immediately disclose it. Like, I would have immediately been like, guys, she's just dumb. She's my ex-girlfriend. She's just talking a bunch of shit. Like, don't even fucking listen. But he just like let that, like, he was hiding it for like the longest time. And then after like 3 weeks into the controversy, he goes like, oh yeah, by the way, I was dating her online. And like, what?
Saintontas has such a hate boner for anything Hoya related. Like most Wuwa shills, he used to be a Genshin player himself, once upon a time. We know this because Saintontas himself has shown off a C6 Alhaitham on his own personal Genshin account. But when he tried applying to join Hoya's creator program, he got rejected or something. My guess is that he's made his life mission since then to forever slander Hoyo and their gachas as like a sort of revenge, like he's some sort of bottom tier, one-dimensional shonen jump villain. And once he realized that he could make a dog shit living out of it by sucking off bigger creators like that trailer trash Tectone from earlier, he just kept at it by just constantly slandering anything that isn't Wuwa. He'll praise some gacha games one month and then shit on them the next. The most infamous example of this is arknights Endfield, where he spent the months leading up to its release sucking up to it, but then spending the first month of its actual release making no less than 40 videos just straight trashing it. And so it should come as no surprise that he treats other gacha creators the exact same.
I mean, it's kind of hard. Like, I mean, if you were really hyped for a game and then you were really let down by it, I can understand being like, you know, like kind of pissed off that they dropped the ball or like whatever. But it's like, when we know that you're a disciple of Tectone and you're also criticizing a game, it makes everybody think like, oh, you're only criticizing it this hard because you're trying to be like Tectone and you're trying to make millions of dollars like Tectone. You don't actually feel this way. You're just acting like this because you know it's going to rage bait people so that you can jumpstart your career even more.
I mentioned earlier that there used to be this whole rat pack of gacha creators who also made the same kind of dog shit content that he does. A lot of them still do, I would assume, but they imploded for the most part when Saintontas, for whatever reason, decided in his infinite mental retardation to start farming his own fellow rats for the sake of content too. Most notably going after his now ex-girlfriend, Captain Cabinets. Friend or foe, gacha game or creator, this North Korean hamster of a clown doesn't give a fuck.
North Korean hamster? What the f?
because apparently in the Democratic People's Republic of Saintontas, everything he does is for the sake of content, and by extension, money. As someone who's been playing gacha games for the past 9 years and played no less than 20 of them at once these days,
I think my max was like 7. I don't know how.
I do not recognize Saintontas as a gacha creator. He's not even a tourist, because that would imply that he only makes like a few dogshit videos about gacha games and then off. No, it's more accurate to call him a squatter, a term that I've also used in
Oh my god, a new term just dropped!
several previous videos of mine, because he has no idea what he's talking about when it comes to gacha games, and yet tries to act like he does. The gacha community online has a lot of problems, yes, but in my eyes, Saintontas is the single biggest problem that has yet to be dealt with. It used to be a sugar daddy tech tone,
Well,
but
I mean, what do you mean dealt with? I mean, gee, what the fuck does that mean?
that is no longer doing gacha content anymore, because he's too busy trying to become Asmongold Gold 2.0 with his own fuck-ass socio-political grifting on Twitter.
Hey, isn't that what I said?
So now, it's this midget-ass clown trying to compensate.
And I know too who wasn't watching my videos. This video came out before, so it's not like the Tectone syndrome where you just regurgitate what he says and then he acts surprised when people that watch him make videos and just regurgitate what he says.
For his lack of a functioning brain by jizzing out as much garbage that he calls content as possible. I mean, just look at the sheer volume of trash that he throws out, man. 3 or 4 videos a day, and it's all just straight VOD rips from his own stream that he then vomits onto his YouTube channel as content.
Oh man, you could never catch me doing that.
The absolute laziest form of content that a YouTuber can do.
You would. Is it getting hot in here?
Is the real truth about Saintontas' involvement with the whole candy bug drama. If you want to see just how deep the Saintontas rabbit hole goes, I've made a 2-hour-plus long video
Oh God!
on that piece of shit called the Saintontas Hater Manifesto, where I go much deeper in depth.
Bro thought he was cooking with this face. Oh my God! That is the. No, thank you.
Into just how much of an asshole he is. Link down in the description. If you consider yourself to be a true gacha player, a true fan of gacha, somebody who can appreciate gacha games for what they really are instead of downplaying or glazing them more than what's necessary, then do not listen to false prophets like Saintontas. Genshin players were able to see through Candybug's own narrative, so credit where credit is due.
Yeah, the problem with gacha games is like if you don't like a gacha game, like you can like say like, hey, here's why I don't like the gacha game, but it doesn't really matter because the people that do like it are just gonna jump down your throat. All you can really do when you want to quit a gacha game is just be like, I guess I'm not playing that anymore. Oh yeah, I stopped playing that. Okay. That's what you do. You don't go online and go, oh, this game's terrible. Anyone who plays it should be euthanized.
I didn't expect them to react like that, but they showed up to fight back against her bad takes. Now, we need to do the same against Saintontas because he's been doing what Candybug tried to do for the past 2 whole years. And it's about damn time that he gets his ass thrown off the internet too. All my socials are down below.
Jesus, thrown off the internet. Oh my God.
Well, sub to the channel, follow my Twitter, follow my Twitch, and check out the Patreon to support me even more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all.
People wouldn't have a problem with people wouldn't have a problem with Saintontas if he didn't just like randomly just like lash out and attack somebody. Like, why the fuck did he just lash that? By the way, like and subscribe to Tuhu. I don't even think was Gacha Smack even like really involved in the whole Saintontas thing. Like, wasn't that whole thing like mostly Skull, CJ, Captain Knuckles, and Genazad? Like, I don't remember like Gacha Smack being involved in the whole Arknights thing. I remember him laughing about it, but I don't really remember him like being like involved in it. So for Saintontas months later to just randomly pick Gacha Smack as like this pillar of what's bad in the community and this like Gacha Smack is everything that's wrong with the community when he won't call out anybody else for taking sponsorships. He won't call out his god Tectone for all the times that he gloated about having sponsorships. And by the way, I still don't understand, like, if a guy says, by the way, I'm doing this for the money, isn't that a lot better than a guy that's lying and saying, oh no, I genuinely like this game, and then in the background he's just going I got the money. Yar! The booty is mine. They're none the wiser. Yar! Like, quite frankly, if a guy lies to me, I'm gonna be pissed. But if a guy tells me to my face that he doesn't like me, that it's like if somebody like walks up to you and goes, by the way, I really don't like you, I don't want to associate you, I'd be like, oh, all right, fine. But if a guy pretends to be my friend and then in the background he's talking shit about me, that would piss me off. So if a guy tells me that he's taking a sponsorship, I don't really care. But if you lie about taking money behind the scenes, and that's also what Gacha Smack was being accused of by Saintontas, that he's taking money illegally behind the scenes and now he needs to be investigated. And it's like, get the fuck out of here. Tuhu, you are a real one. You stand by your convictions, and I commend you, good sir. Have a baba booey.
Baba Booey.